In modern warfare, the time between a public threat and a lethal response has shrunk to virtually zero. A prominent official can go on national television to project strength, and a fraction of a second later, they're gone. Take Ali Mohammad Naini. He was a 68-year-old brigadier general and spokesman for the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iran's most powerful military branch. In late March, Naini appeared on television to deliver a confident message. Iran's missile industry deserved a perfect score, and production was continuing. He didn't live to see the weekend. Just hours after that broadcast, Naini was killed in a joint U.S.-Israeli dawn strike. The rapid sequence of events, a public boast silenced almost instantly by an overwhelming tactical strike, captures exactly how the United States and Israel are executing their current campaign against Iran. Naini's death isn't an isolated incident. We are 20 days into a relentless military operation, systematically erasing Iran's top political and military figures. Within a single 48-hour window, the strikes eliminated Brigadier General Gholam Reza Soleimani, the head of the Basij paramilitary force, and Intelligence Minister Ismail Khatib. Shortly after, Ali Larijani, Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council and a major pillar of the establishment, was killed along with his son. This follows the defining moment of the conflict. In the opening hours of the campaign, a joint strike killed Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Wiping out a rival government's command structure in real time is a severe display of military dominance. But creating a massive power vacuum forces a complex question. What do the United States and Israel actually want to happen next? On paper, the military execution looks perfectly unified. U.S. and Israeli jets are operating together over eastern Tehran, hitting the same Basij command centers and neutralizing the same intelligence networks. But listen to the leaders of these two nations, and you find a stark division. They are dropping the exact same bombs, yet intelligence officials openly admit they are trying to win two entirely different wars. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is playing a long political game. He has stated that taking apart Iran's leadership will require persistence, but his strategy is entirely focused on the Iranian civilian population. Israel's strikes hunt the human architects of the regime, rather than focusing on empty missile silos or radar arrays. By removing these high-ranking officials, Netanyahu aims to fracture the government's internal security apparatus, creating the political oxygen necessary for a citizen-led uprising. For Israel, these high-profile assassinations are the calculated spark meant to ignite a total, citizen-led regime change from the inside out. The United States administration has virtually no interest in who governs Iran. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard recently told the House Intelligence Committee that while Israel focuses on the leadership, the U.S. objectives lie elsewhere. The American endgame is entirely about hardware. Washington's stated goals are to completely destroy Iran's ballistic missile supply lines and heavily cripple their naval fleets. Ali Mohammad Naini's television appearance effectively marked him as a priority target. By publicly guaranteeing that missile production remained unaffected by the war, he centered himself in the crosshairs of the specific American objective to dismantle Iran's ballistic capabilities. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth hasn't hidden his satisfaction with the results of these strikes, recently testifying that stepping into a senior leadership role in the IRGC, or the Basij, is currently the last job anyone in the world wants. So we have America fighting a war to break weapons, and Israel fighting a war to break a government. This heavy misalignment between two allied forces creates a massive, unpredictable blind spot in the middle of a live conflict. On the ground in Tehran, the theory of this war is crashing into the reality of daily life. This military campaign directly overlaps with Nowruz, the Persian New Year, and Eid al-Fitr. Instead of the usual crowded celebrations, reporters describe the capital as completely hushed. The customary holiday festivities are absent, entirely replaced by the anxious anticipation of nighttime drone strikes and the sight of fresh craters in the streets. And yet, the Iranian government insists it is unfazed. Foreign Minister Abbas Arachaki publicly stated that the U.S. and Israel fail to grasp how their system actually operates, arguing that the presence or absence of any single individual does not break the political structure. Arachaki's defiance frames the ultimate test for this entire military operation. Can an aggressive campaign of targeted assassinations actually dismantle a deeply entrenched religious and political system, or will it merely disrupt it for a few weeks? the machine regenerates. When the supreme leader was killed, the government didn't fracture. They instantly elevated his son, Mojtaba Khamenei, to fill the vacuum. We see this exact rapid replacement across intelligence and besieged forces. Despite losses, the ranks close and new subordinates step up. Without a doubt, the joint US-Israeli strikes have been tactically devastating in the short term, turning every high-ranking position in the Iranian military into an immediate lethal liability. The long-term gamble remains. Systematically purging the old guard might trigger a total collapse, or it could inadvertently harden the state. Erasing the current leadership risks leaving behind a younger, more cornered, and significantly more volatile Iranian regime.